Hello students, this is Miss Dalton, and this video is on writing and graphing piecewise functions. The definition of a piecewise function is that a piecewise function, f of x, is a function defined by multiple rules that are restricted to distinct, non-overlapping domains. Make sure you know this formula. It is on your, I'm sorry, not formula, but make sure you know this definition. It is on your test. And so this is just an example of a graph of piecewise functions. Notice that what you're going to do is you're going to write the equation for each of the pieces of the line. And then we're also going to use restrictions, okay? And so if you look right here, this is a restriction for this line right here. This is a restriction for this line right here. And this is a restriction for this line right here. And so we're going to look at writing those and writing the equations. All right, first we're going to start with just being able to graph a piecewise function. This is what a piecewise function looks like, and so it looks kind of crazy, but what this means is that f of x is going to follow this line, 2/3 x plus 5, for all x values that are less than or equal to -1. Then, for all of the x values that are greater than or equal to -1, we're going to follow this line. And so now we're going to graph both of those lines on this graph. The first thing that I like to do is draw a dotted line representing my boundary. So we have a boundary at -1 because once, for everything that is less than -1, which would be on this side of that dotted line, we're going to follow this equation. So, and then everything to the right of that dotted line is going to follow this equation. So let's, I'm going to make a table representing both of these equations. So we're going to start with the y equals 2/3 x plus 5. And when I make my table for this line, I only want to choose x values that are less than -1. Now, I am going to use -1, but when I graph that, that's going to be an open circle, because anytime you have a less than or a greater than, you're going to graph that with an open circle. If you have a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, you're going to graph that with a closed circle. Okay, but I still need to find out what the y value is when x is -1. Then pick another point that's less than -1, any x value. So let's go ahead and I'm going to choose -4, but again, it could be any x value less than -1. Now we're going to go ahead and plug those in. So if I plug in -1 to this equation, so 2/3 times -1 plus 5. You can use your calculator to help you, but this would be -2/3 plus 5, so that would be 4 1/3. Okay, then if I plug in -4, I'm going to have 2/3 times -4 plus 5. So that's going to give me -8/3 plus 5. Okay, since I'm doing this without a calculator, I'm going to go ahead and get this to have a denominator of 3. So this would be -8/3 plus this would be 15/3. So if I add those together, it's going to be 7/3, which is the same thing as 2 1/3. Okay, so let's graph those points. At -1, 4 1/3, it's going to be approximately here. Again, I'm drawing an open point, and then -4, 2 1/3 would be right here. When I connect those dots, though, I'm going to keep on going because, again, it's all of our x values less than -1, so it's everything on that left side. Okay, now let's make let's make a table for the next equation, y equals -2x minus 4. And I need to pick values where x is greater than or equal to -1. So I'm definitely going to choose -1 because that's the boundary. And then anything above that. So I could choose 0, I could choose 1, 2, 3, anything above that. So let's plug that in. So -2 times -1 minus 4. -2 times -1 is 2. 2 minus 4 is -2. Plug in 0. -2 times 0 minus 4. That'd be 0 minus 4, which is -4. So this would be -1, -2, and this is going to have a closed circle because we have a greater than or equal to. And then 0, -4 would be right here. And when I connect those dots, I'm going to draw an arrow because it's everything on that right side. And this would be your graph. I would go ahead and erase the dotted line once you're done graphing. That just represents that boundary so that you could see each side of it. All right, let's graph this next one. So we have 3 lines here. We have the top line, 2x plus 1, if our x values are less than 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put a boundary at x is 3 on my graph. And so we know that this line is going to be everything to the left of that. Okay, then I also have this line right here, and this is when x is greater than 3. So that's going to be on that right side of that boundary. And then I also have the equation y equals 4 when x is 3. Well, that's really easy. Let's go ahead and do that first. When x is 3, what that means is we only have 1 point. When x is 3, y is 4. So we're going to go to 3, 4, and go ahead and put that point there. It is a solid point because it's equal to 4. Or I'm sorry, equal to 3. Okay, let's look at the red line. So I'm going to go ahead and make a table for that red line. So this is y equals 2x plus 1. And we're using this for any x value that's less than 3. So we're going to use 3, but we're also going to use a value less than 3. Let's put 0. So 2 times 3 plus 1, that would be 7. 2 times 0 plus 1, that would be 1. So let's graph those points. So 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be right here, but it's going to be an open circle because we just have a less than. And 0, 1 would be right here. When I connect those dots, right, we're going to keep on drawing because it's everything on that side. And I'm going to go ahead and erase that blue line now. Okay, now let's look at the green function. Y equals -1/2 x minus 3. So I'm going to make my table. And I'm going to use 3, definitely, and then I need to choose a number greater than 3. Let's just choose 4. So when I plug in 3, I've got -1/2 times 3 minus 3. Well, that would be -3/2 minus 3. Since I'm doing this without a calculator, let's convert this to have a denominator of 2. -3/2 would be -6/2. So that would be equal to -9/2, which is -4.5. You could use your calculator to help you out on that. Okay, then I'm going to plug in 4. So y equals -1/2 times 4 minus 3. Well, -1/2 times 4 is -2, and -2 minus 3 would be -5. So here are my points. 3, -4.5 would be right here, but it's going to be an open circle because x is not equal to 3, it's everything greater than 3. 4, -5 would be right here. And then when I connect those dots, I'm going to keep going forever because it's everything on that right side. And then there is your graph. All right, moving on, we have a graph drawn for us, but now we're going to write the piecewise function. So there are actually two things that you're going to need to do when you're looking at a piecewise function graph. The first thing that you need to know how to do is how to evaluate. And what it's going to look like is they might give you something like this. They might say, what is f of 1? Well, I want you to remember that f of x is equal to y. So this is asking you, when x is 1, what is your y value? So find where x is 1, and then go up and find the point on the graph that has an x value of 1. So that's right here. Well, the y value for that is 5. So f of 1 is equal to 5. I could also ask you to find maybe, let's say, f of 4. Well, if I go to where x is 4, here's the point that has an x value of 4, and the y value is 8. So the answer would be 8. Okay, now we're going to use this method to kind of write our equation as well. Now remember, when you're writing an equation for a line, you need to know two things. You need to know your m, which is your slope. You also need to know your b, which is your y-intercept. Okay, so let's take this first line on the left side. Pick any 2 points that are on that line. Let's say this one, and it looks like this one is an actual point as well. Now we're going to count the rise over the run. So if I go from that bottom point, I'm going 1, 2, over 1, so that's positive 2, positive 1. So my first equation is going to have a slope of 2. Remember, you put mx and then you put your b. Now you can continue this, go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and then you'll see that that would be your y-intercept if that line continued on. We need to use that in our equation. Our y-intercept is plus 9. Okay, let me erase that so that we can now move on to the second line. Now the second line is right here. It's a horizontal line. So what I want you to remember is that when you have a horizontal line, your equation is just y equals whatever your y-intercept is. If you have a vertical line, it's x equals whatever the x-intercept is. So if it goes through the point 2, 0, well, then your vertical line would be, the equation would be x equals 2. But this is a horizontal line, so all we have to do is just write whatever y value that's at, which is 5. So because this is our y, we don't have to put y equals because it's already there. So all we have to put is just the number 5. Our last equation is this one on the end. And let's pick 2 points. So I'm going to pick this point where it starts, and then this red point that I had already used once before. Let's count our slope. 1, 2, 3. So up 3, positive 3, over 2, positive 2. So the slope is going to be 3/2 x. Now we're going to have to go backwards to get to our y-intercept. So we're going to go down 3 and go over 2, and that would be our y-intercept right there at 2. So we're just going to put plus 2. Okay, let me erase that, because the last thing that we're going to do now is we're going to have to write our restrictions. So if I look at this line here, my restriction is right here when x is -2. So it's everything to the left of that, which would be the same thing as x is less than -2. And we're going to start off with it being just less than. And this is the part that's a little confusing. Because these are connected, We just have to make sure that -2 is only included in one of our lines. So it either needs to be included in this red line or it needs to be included in the blue line. So if I don't include it in the red line, meaning I'm not going to put an equal to, then I'm going to include it in the blue line. The blue line is going from when your x values are between -2 and +2, okay? So we're going to write that as a between statement like this. You always put your lowest number first, so -2, your highest number next. And again, since I did not include -2 in the first one, then I would need to include it as an equal to here. And then, and you can just, and you choose, like I could have put the equal to with the red, and I could have made that x is less than or equal to -2. But if I put less than or equal to with the red, then I don't want to put it with the blue on the -2. Now the +2, just choose. Either put the line here and don't put it in the next one, or vice versa. And I know that's kind of confusing. You will get better at that, but let's go ahead and move on to that next line. Now the next line is all of the x values that are going this way, which would be greater than. So this is all of the x values that are greater than +2. And again, because I did not put a line here, then I would want to put a line here. You have to choose. Either put it in that blue line or put it in the green line, but don't put it in both. All right, let's move on to a new example. All right, for this next one, I want you to try it on your own first, and then when you're ready to check your answer, go ahead and press play and see if you got the same answer as me. All right, check your work on this one. Now, the restrictions on this one's a little bit easier to do because they're not connected, and so at that right here where we have this open point right here and everything to the left of that, that's going to be x is less than -1. Then when we have this section right here, that's between -1 and 2, but -1's going to have a line under the inequality because it's a closed circle, and then 2 is not going to have a line because it's an open circle. Now the green one was a little more difficult to get the y-intercept for, because when we did the y-intercept, like it didn't hit the y-intercept. So what I did was I chose another point on that line, 5/3, and I plugged it in to what I had of the equation already with the slope, and now I multiplied all that out to get your y-intercept. The restriction on that one starts at 2, and then it goes everywhere this way, and so we're going to have an x is greater than or equal to 2. Now, I know that this is a little confusing, but I do want you to know that on your test, these will be multiple choice, so they will be a little bit easier to do. But go ahead and do your Delta Math assignment, and let me know if you need help.